Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I have here an article from the USA Today, and here we have some weasels from the White House, the United States of America, claiming that the Russians were lying. I have to confess that I read the article and I couldn't identify what the hell were the Russians lying. And maybe you can help me identify that. That's the first point. The second point is, and if they were lying, so what? What exactly are you going to do about it? Nothing. So let's get it going with this article from USA Today. It says, video of jet dumping fuel on drone shows Russia is flat out lying. About what? All right, we're going to find out, right? So the Pentagon released footage Thursday of what it says is a Russian fighter jet dumping fuel on US drone, damaging the propeller and forcing US controllers to crash land the device in the Black Sea on Tuesday. Okay? Two Russian Sukhoi 27 warplanes conducted an unsafe, for whom, an unprofessional intercept with an Air Force reconnaissance MQ-9 Reaper flying in international airspace, the Pentagon said in a release issued with a video to counter Russian denials of contact between the aircraft. So the Russians denied contact with the aircraft. That means the Sukhoi 27 having made contact with the drone. That's what I think, contact. But anyway, maybe they think about the whatever they say they dumped over, or maybe is the outer afterburn of the engines. John Kirby, a spokesman for the you're a spokesman? I don't think so. For the National Security Council, said the video provided, and I'm quoting, clear and convincing evidence that the account we laid out there and shows, and I'm quoting, the Russians have been flat out lying. About what? About what? What about? About what they were lying. But he said it was not clear the pilot intended to strike the unmanned aircraft. Yes, it was very well intended. The Russians wanted that aircraft down without using $500,000 missile, and they did it in a very, very, I would say, skillful way. I mean, I looked at the guy's maneuvers on that video, and the guy was masterful, I gotta tell you. So I don't think it was unsafe for the Russians, unprofessional, I don't know, better than hitting a balloon with a $500,000 rocket at the second attempt, which the, what was that? The Raptor F-22 was capable of doing with that fantastic US pilot over the Huron Lake. But he said it was not clear the pilot intended to strike the unnamed aircraft. Well, what do you mean strike? With what? What do you mean strike? So officials were unable to say it was deliberate. No. Before we get to deliberate or not deliberate, what strike? What do you mean strike? What do you mean? What do you call strike? You see, these guys are just little by little creeping in with all kind of terms. So he said, clear and convincing evidence of the account we laid out here. Like what? Okay. And shows the Russians have been flat out lying. About what? About what? What were they lying about? About dumping fuel? Is that what it is? Damaging the propeller? That was the goal. Yes, they did that. They did that. They wanted to do it. So yes, that's true. They wanted to get the drone down, and they did it. Does it matter how? So it's like saying, someone murdered someone else. Does it matter exactly if it was a knife or, I don't know, a hatchet? Okay, if it was a knife, does it matter if it was 10-inch long knife or it was 9-inch long knife? Does it matter? The goal was to get that drone down, and they did it. Now what? Let me serve. The ball is in your little field. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. That's the whole point. So you can say, yeah, we were right, you were lying. Lying about what? Let's make it clear. As Obama said, make it clear. Let me be clear about it. Shut up. Anyway, so those guys sent a drone according to the Russians, which the Americans never denied it, never confirmed it, with the transponder off. That means no beep, 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 I'm right here, I'm coming, beep, beep, beep. That's illegal, isn't it? I haven't heard any American saying, no, the transponder was on and we were, according to them, in the international waters. Okay. The Russians said, okay, it's international water. We shut you down. What are you going to do about it? Are you going to do anything about it? No, then shut up. I know these guys are very upset right now, the Americans, for the obvious reason. That shows their impotence. Why? You see, this U.S. Army doesn't take on anybody alone. They are always in a coalition, and if possible, like in Ukraine, have some other people fight, and they are behind. Well, I don't know how you were raised, but where I was raised and how I was raised, that was a mark of a coward. Not a strong guy. The strong guy would be like, move on, I'm going to fuck him up right now and go in. That's how I was raised. I never raised thinking that courage is like this. Hey, you go and fight, and I'm going to stay here. I'm going to give you water. I'm going to use a towel, and you go over there. I'm going to stay here. Hey, you go too. Yeah. Oh, no, go over there. Are we winning? Yeah. And then after we win, hey, we won, man. Yeah. I'm not used to that. That's a weasel way. All right. So the problem here is like this. It shows the impotence of the United States to do anything about it. After all, the bottom line is this. One of your freaking drones was shut down, destroyed, damaged, kaput, dead by the Russians. Anything? No. So when you or anybody else gonna get in a conversation with anybody, yeah, man, mention this. Well, those guys kicked you in the ball. Why didn't you do anything? Well, that happened all the time. I read an article where Mr. Austin, Secretary of Defense, the U.S., the guy, who used to sit on the board of directors of Raytheon, that's Raytheon, from the military-industrial complex, little basket. He said that, well, there's nothing wrong with these kind of things, where our drones are destroyed by the Russians. It happens all the time. There's not a declaration of war or anything. Take it easy. I have that. I'm going to make a video on that. What does it tell you? Well, we got kicked in the teeth right now, but I still have it. It's okay. I can use fake teeth right now. That's what they're telling us. No, you got kicked in the teeth and you didn't show anything. So, you know what I mean? You were straight kicked in the teeth. If that was in the international waters, it's even worse for you. So you better say it was in the Russians' international airspace, not waters, the international airspace, not it was in the Russians' airspace. Let's say it that way. So that will make you a little bit more, well, we let them slide. On the contrary, you claim it was international airspace. It's even worse than what you say. And you don't do anything about it. Why? Where is your coalition? Where is it? So you're impotent doing alone the fighting? Obviously. And they try to find all kind of, so the thing is the Russians lied or not, it doesn't really matter. That's a not secondary, tertiary, or whatever, in the 50th issue from the top. The top issue is those guys destroyed one of our assets, right there in the international airspace. And we will not do anything about it. Suckers. So however you want to take it. I heard that we're the strongest, and all of a sudden we're like trying to find kind of justifications and pink. Oh, I know what? Regarding this crime, I'm just going to look at his hair. His hair was blonde, and she's got blue eyes. Yeah, that's not the point. He killed her. That's the point. Oh, no, I'm going to focus on whatever I want to focus. He was kind of cute. She was kind of ugly. I wonder why. You know what I mean? The same here. So this is the weasel way. And say it however you want to say it. The fact that the United States of America did not react in any way, blah, 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 that's zero. Okay? That doesn't matter. I mean, no, did you do anything about it? If this would have happened with Iraq, or Libya, or let's say maybe Syria, or a country that is not as as Russia, do you think that the Americans would have said the same thing? I can guarantee you they wouldn't have said the same thing. They would, all war, let's attack them all, let's go, yeah man, America. That's how it would have been. I've seen it so many times. Why? Because you knew that you can kick that guy's teeth in right there. But with the Russians, they have rusty equipment, they're drunk, they don't know anything, but you know what? They just downed one of our drones, but we're not going to do anything because, you know what? We're good and we're superior, so therefore we're not going to tangle with that. Do you think that if another country of, let's say, 15 million people population with no nuclear weapons, would have done this, the Americans would have used the same weasel way? That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for an American to think, well, now what? Nothing. And Kirby and USA Today are very interested in the Russians lied. Okay, I lied. So what? So what? Zip it down, come over, take over, and go. Next. Basically, you just stuck it and went out. It's even embarrassing to say it's in international airspace. At least saying it was over there. So that makes it, well, we made a mistake, we can't react. But like this needs a reaction. You have got to do something about it. Nothing? I wonder why. I tell you why. These guys pick only on small countries. Small countries, weak countries, with a coalition. That tells you something. I mean, turn it however you want. That's a reality. That's a reality. And even here, you don't fight straight on. I remember when it was an article, well, the Americans met the Russian, they said the Russian military in Syria, and we killed them, and man, don't mess with USA. USA, don't mess with us. Yeah, there were some mercenaries. Oh yeah, we don't mess. Okay, now it's the right time to go and straighten things out, okay? You didn't do it with Stalin, you didn't do it with Khrushchev, you didn't do it with Gorbachev, now you're gonna do it with Putin? No. You try weasel ways. Maybe we can regime change. Maybe we can go from behind, bend over and bang. That's how this is done. Does that show courage? Huh? It doesn't show in my books. If it shows in yours, very good. But I think it's just, you just find reasons not to say, well, we don't want to tangle with these rusty Russians. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. They lied.